China's Hubei province, the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak, now reporting a sharp increase in the number of deaths and cases. Authorities say more than 240 people died in the past 24 hours, and there were nearly 15,000 new infections. Part of the reason for that, officials changed the criteria for recognizing new cases. In the meantime, China's President Xi Jinping has appointed one of his key allies to run the Hubei province. The outbreak posing a major challenge to Beijing's insistence on controlling the flow of information as complaints about the government's response multiply on social media. David Culver is in line tracking all these details. David, let's talk about the numbers here and how those things are recorded. My understanding is we're talking about including those with a clinical diagnosis rather than a test positive for coronavirus, and clearly that matters.
It does, Julia, and it's worth looking at this reclassification and this political change-up, if you will, the cleaning house at the local level that you mentioned, and you can't see them as mutually exclusive. I think they go together, and you've got to look at them in such a way. But as far as this reclassification is concerned, essentially what they're saying is the new number of those reported cases will include those folks who have been confirmed by taking tests and those tests being positive, as well as those who have exhibited the symptoms. They've shown them, they've been clinically diagnosed. Even if they haven't been tested, they'll then be part of that group. That explains this huge jump in number that we're seeing. And it's also, in many ways, to be quite fair, a response to a lot of our reporting that we have shown folks who have simply said, we don't have access to some of the testing. It's either been delayed or it's just been out of our hands to even get there to the hospital to get it done. So in part, this is answering some of the criticism and concern that the government had faced for several weeks now, and they're responding to that by saying, okay, now we will consider those. But then on that political side of things, you also have to look at where this all started. And again, it's at the local level that early criticism was coming out against the city of Wuhan, against Hubei province. And that criticism seemed to come to the point where people were losing their jobs. And we know that's continued even today with the two most senior party officials in Hubei province, as well as in the city of Wuhan, now out of a job. Their replacements, Julia, are proteges of President Xi Jinping. And of course, now all of this is reflecting on the central government, and the central government in of itself is in charge of all of this. They've taken control of the containment effort, which at times it's been seen as extreme. Folks have even criticized it, but then at the same time, it's received some praise. The WHO thinks it can be effective. And even one of the leading epidemiologists who spoke out early on and really was known for his assessment of the SARS epidemic in 2003 said he believes that while the local government dropped the ball initially and they should be held responsible, that this containment effort into its extremes as well could be quite effective, Julia.